Look, man, this is something a lot of guys struggle with. You meet a girl, she's pretty, she's fun to be around, she laughs at your jokes, she blows up your phone all day long. You're thinking, this is awesome. She must really like me. But here's the deal, just because she's giving you her attention doesn't mean she's actually interested in you romantically. Some women, they're bored, they're lonely, or they just want a little ego boost. And if you don't know how to recognize the signs, you'll waste weeks, months, sometimes even years chasing a girl who was never serious about you in the first place. So, how do you know if she's just using you for attention and validation? Well, it's pretty simple. Pay attention to her actions, not her words. Women can say a lot of things, but if her actions don't line up, then you've stopped lying to yourself and face reality. If she's always reaching out, but never makes time to actually see you, that's a red flag. If she's constantly texting you about her problems, but she's never interested in your life, that's a red flag. If she only hits you up when she's bored, lonely, or fighting with some other dude, that's a giant neon sign flashing. She's just using you. A woman who genuinely likes you will make it easy for you. She'll want to spend time with you. She'll be flexible. She'll make an effort. But a woman who only wants attention, she'll keep you on the hook just enough to keep you around, but never enough to give you what you actually want, her romantic interest. At the end of the day, you value your time and energy. You're not her therapist. You're not her emotional tampon. And you're definitely not her backup plan. If she's not making an effort, so you've pull back, walk away, and free yourself up for a woman who actually sees your value, instead of one who's just using you to fill her emotional void. Bottom line, if you don't respect yourself enough to walk away from women like this, they'll waste your time. But when you set boundaries, when you say, hey, I'm not going to be your little attention toy, that's when you reclaim your power. And ironically, that's when a lot of these women suddenly realize you're not like every other guy. So stop settling for scraps. You deserve more than being somebody's free therapist or their backup boyfriend. If she's not meeting you halfway, she's telling you everything you need to know. Believe her actions, move on. And go find a woman who's genuinely excited to be with you. The biggest mistake most guys make when they first start dating a woman is they listen to what she says instead of watching what she does. Women are emotional creatures. They'll say things in the heat of the moment, when they're bored, or when they're trying to make themselves feel better. Words can sound sweet, exciting, and reassuring, but words alone don't mean a damn thing if her actions don't line up. Think about it. How many times have you heard a woman say, I really like you, or I can't wait to see you. And then when it came time to actually make plans, she suddenly got busy. It happens all the time. Her behavior is what reveals the truth, not her promises. When a woman genuinely wants to be with you, she'll make it easy. She won't just talk about wanting to see you. She'll actually follow through. She'll answer your calls, return your texts, and prioritize spending time together. But when a woman is just using you for attention, her actions always expose the truth. She'll text you constantly, filling up your inbox with random small talk, memes, or complaints about her day. But when you invite her out, she always has an excuse. That's not interest. That's validation seeking. She's getting her little dopamine hit from your responses, and then she goes back to doing her own thing. Guys get themselves in trouble because they project their interest onto her. They want her to like them so badly. They start believing the words instead of the reality right in front of them. If she tells you, you're such a great guy, or I'd love to hang out sometime, you hold on to those crumbs like they're gold. But look, man, sometime isn't a plan. You're such a great guy isn't romance. That's the language of a woman who sees you as her buddy, her therapist, or her little ego boost. If she really liked you, she wouldn't keep pushing things off into the vague future. She'd lock down plans. Women who are genuinely attracted will move mountains to see you. Here's the reality. Women who want you don't play games. If she says she wants to see you Friday night, she'll actually be there Friday night. She won't flake. She won't disappear. She won't give you excuses about being tired or not feeling it. Sure, every once in a while, life happens. But if her words and actions are consistently out of sync, that's a huge red flag. The more she talks about how much she likes you, yet fails to show up, the more obvious it becomes. She's just stringing you along for attention. And the longer you stick around pretending not to notice, the more power you give her to waste your time. Think about the women from your past who really wanted you. They didn't just send you good morning texts or like your Instagram photos. They made themselves available. They wanted to hear about your day, but they also wanted to be in your day. They made plans, they followed through, they leaned in when you pulled back. Contrast that with the woman who floods you with words but never invests time. One is genuine interest. The other is a bottomless pit of attention seeking behavior. And once you learn to tell the difference, you'll save yourself from months of unnecessary frustration. The problem is, most guys are so blinded by hope that they ignore the evidence. They tell themselves, she's just busy, or she's shy, she'll come around. But that's just self-deception. If she's truly into you, she won't need you to decode her mixed signals. She'll show up. She'll put effort into it. And if she doesn't, then her words are meaningless. You've got to stop lying to yourself and stop making excuses for her. If her actions don't align with her words, that's all the clarity you need. At the end of the day, actions are the language of truth. Words are cheap. Any woman can say she likes you, misses you, or can't wait to see you. But the one who actually carves out time, keeps her promises, and invests in building a real connection, that's the one who's genuine. The rest, they're just using you for attention and validation. And once you learn to value yourself enough to only respond to actions, not empty words, you'll filter out the women who waste your time, and you'll attract the ones who are truly excited about you. One of the simplest truths in dating, yet one of the hardest for guys to accept, is this: if she's not making any effort, she's just not that interested. Period. Guys try to complicate it, they try to rationalize it, they try to justify her lack of effort by saying, oh, she's busy with work, or she's going through a lot right now. But the reality is, if a woman genuinely likes you, she'll make time. People make time for what matters to them. It's that simple. If she's not showing up, she's showing you where you rank on her priority list. Think about it. When you're truly interested in a woman, do you suddenly forget to text her back? Do you cancel on her 3 times in a row? Do you put her on the back burner and treat her like she's optional? Of course not. You make an effort. You clear your schedule. You go out of your way to see her. That's what interest looks like. And women are no different. If she's constantly too busy, or she only gets back to you days later with some half-hearted excuse, then you're simply not a priority. She may like the idea of you being around, but she doesn't like you enough to invest her time. The mistake most guys make is they confuse her attention with genuine interest. She'll text you back and forth for hours. She'll call you when she's bored. She'll lean on you when she's stressed, but when you ask her to meet up, suddenly she's got every excuse in the book. That's not a woman who wants you. That's a woman who wants your energy, your comfort, your emotional support. It's like having a gym membership you never use. She likes knowing you're there. She likes the option, but she has no intention of actually showing up and putting in the work. And if you can't recognize that, you'll keep pouring into someone who isn't pouring back. Now, here's the thing. Women who are truly into you will make it obvious. They won't hide it. They'll ask when they can see you. They'll keep their commitments. If something comes up and they have to cancel, they'll reschedule immediately because they want that time with you. They won't let days or weeks go by without putting in effort. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she's going to take the initiative sometimes. She'll reach out, she'll flirt, she'll show enthusiasm. You won't be left guessing where you stand. That's the big difference. Interest creates effort. Lack of effort exposes lack of interest. But here's where guys sabotage themselves. They try to compensate for her lack of effort by doing more. They blow up her phone. They chase. They overtext. They try to remind her why she should like them. And every time they do that, they lower their value in her eyes. Because what they're communicating is, my time isn't valuable. I'll keep investing in you even though you're giving me nothing back. And women don't respect that. Attraction is built on respect. If she doesn't respect your time, your boundaries, or your effort, she's never going to see you as the guy she wants to be with. She's only going to see you as another option she can keep on the hook. You've got to understand, relationships are a two-way street. Both people need to invest. Both people need to show up. If she's not willing to put in the work, then she's telling you everything you need to know. You don't need to call her out. You don't need to demand answers. You don't need to play detective. Just look at her actions. If she's not making time to see you, then she's not really into you. And the longer you deny that reality, the longer you keep yourself stuck in a situation that's going nowhere. The sooner you accept the truth, the sooner you can walk away and free yourself up for someone who actually values your effort. Bottom line, effort is the currency of interest. A woman who wants you will invest. She'll prioritize you. She'll match your energy. But if you're the only one carrying the relationship forward, then you're not in a relationship at all. You're in a one-sided fantasy. And that fantasy will drain your time, your energy, and your self-respect until you finally wake up and realize no effort means no interest. One of the clearest signs that a woman isn't genuinely interested in you is when every interaction revolves around her. She talks about her day, her feelings, her problems, her drama, and you're just sitting there nodding, listening, being the supportive guy. But when it comes time to share what's going on in your life, she's checked out. She changes the subject, she gives you a half-hearted, that's cool, or she doesn't ask anything at all. That's not connection, man. That's a one-sided conversation. And if you find yourself constantly giving while she's constantly taking, you're not her love interest, you're her therapist, her emotional sponge, her personal cheerleader. Now, don't get me wrong, relationships are supposed to involve listening and supporting each other. Of course, you're going to hear about her bad day, or her challenges at work, or that fight she had with her roommate. That's normal. But there's a big difference between mutual support and a dynamic where you're just her dumping ground. If she only comes to you when she wants to unload negativity, but she never shows curiosity about you, that's not balanced. That's not attraction, that's validation, seeking. She's using your attention to make herself feel better while giving nothing in return. Here's the trap most guys fall into. They confuse access with intimacy. Just because she's opening up about her problems doesn't mean she's opening up her heart to you. Women will spill their guts to guys they have zero attraction for. They'll cry on your shoulder, they'll vent for hours, they'll even call you the only one who understands me. But at the end of the day, if she doesn't ask about your life, if she doesn't light up when you talk about your passions, if she doesn't make space for your story, then you're just a tool she's using to process her emotions. Nothing more. And here's how you know it's one-sided. Try flipping the script. Next time she launches into a rant about her boss, you listen, you acknowledge it, and then you share something from your own world. Pay attention to her reaction. If she's genuinely into you, she'll lean in, she'll ask questions, she'll engage. She'll want to know more. But if she suddenly looks bored, checks her phone, or steers the conversation right back to herself, then you've got your answer. That's a woman who doesn't value your voice. She just values the space you create for hers. And that's not a woman you should be investing in. What makes this tricky is that a lot of guys like feeling needed. They like being the hero, the fixer, the rock she leans on. It feeds their ego. They think, well, if she's coming to me with all this, she must trust me. And if she trusts me, that must mean she likes me. Wrong. Women trust their gay best friend. They trust their brother. They trust the random coworker who listens without judgment. Trust alone isn't attraction. Attraction is when she wants to know you, when she invests in your world, when she makes space for a two-way connection. Without that, all you've got is a one-sided arrangement where she gets what she wants, and you're left hoping it'll eventually turn into more. Spoiler alert, it won't. The longer you entertain these one-sided conversations, the more you train her to see you as a safe place to vent instead of a man she desires. You reinforce the dynamic by always being available, by never redirecting, by never demanding reciprocity. And women respect men who respect themselves. If you're constantly giving without getting, she won't see you as valuable. She'll see you as expendable. She'll keep you around as long as it's convenient. And the second she finds a guy she's actually attracted to, she'll drop you like a bad habit. Why? Because she was never truly interested in the first place. So here's the bottom line. If every conversation is one-sided, if she's never curious about your life, your goals, your passions, then she's not invested in you as a man. She's invested in what you provide: attention, comfort, validation. And the sooner you recognize that dynamic, the sooner you can stop wasting your time being someone's unpaid therapist and start focusing on women who actually want to know you. One of the dead giveaways that a woman is just using you for attention and validation is when she only reaches out to you when it's convenient for her. Think about it. She's not calling you because she genuinely misses you or because she's excited to see you. She's calling because she's bored. She's texting you because she's lonely. She's blowing up your phone at midnight because she just got into a fight with another guy and she needs someone to make her feel wanted again. In other words, you're not her priority, you're her safety net. And if you don't catch on, you'll keep playing that role while she invests her real energy into someone else. The convenience factor is dangerous because it gives you just enough crumbs to feel like you matter. She'll text you when she's waiting in line at Starbucks. She'll call you after she's had a couple of drinks and nobody else picked up. She'll flirt with you when she's in between guys or when her actual boyfriend is ignoring her. And here's the thing, you get excited because you think, wow, she's reaching out to me. This must mean something. But it doesn't. It's not about you, it's about her. You're not the main course. You're the snack she reaches for when the pantry's empty. Now, contrast that with a woman who genuinely likes you. If she's truly into you, she doesn't just connect with you when it's convenient. She makes time. She'll go out of her way to see you. She'll plan her week around you. She'll want to fit you into her life, even if it means juggling her schedule. When you call, she answers. When you suggest plans, she's enthusiastic. She doesn't treat you like a last resort. She treats you like a priority. That's the difference. Convenience is selfish. Effort is genuine. And once you learn to spot the difference, you stop confusing scraps of attention for actual interest. Here's where a lot of guys mess up. They confuse frequency with quality. Just because she texts you a lot doesn't mean she cares about you. A woman can text you 10 times a day and still not be interested in anything romantic. She's filling space. She's distracting herself. She's killing time. And if you mistake that constant chatter for genuine desire, you're going to end up frustrated. Because the moment you try to take things further, ask her out, escalate, build something real, she'll ghost you, flake, or give you some vague excuse. Why? Because she was never in it for you. She was in it for the attention she got when it suited her. Let me give you an example. Let's say she always calls you when she's driving home from work. Sounds nice, right? But pay attention. Does she ever call you just to make plans? Does she ever call you because she's excited about something you said? Or is she just using you as background noise to fill her commute? That's the convenience factor at work. You're not her focus. You're her entertainment while she's stuck in traffic. Same with late night calls. If the only time she wants to talk is when she's had a few drinks or when she's lying in bed lonely, that's not attraction. That's her filling a void. Lips. What's even worse is when she uses you as her rebound guy. She just broke up with someone, she's hurt, she doesn't want to be alone, so she leans on you for comfort. She might even flirt a little, give you just enough to keep your hopes up. But as soon as she heals, or as soon as the ex comes back into the picture, you're out. She disappears. Why? Because she never saw you as the real deal. She saw you as the convenient band, ate until she felt better. And if you don't recognize that, you'll spend months investing in someone who was never really yours in the first place. At the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself, am I her priority, or am I just her option? She call me because she wants to or because it's easy? Does she make plans with me because she's excited, or does she only show up when she's got nothing better going on? Once you get brutally honest with yourself, the truth becomes obvious. A woman who truly likes you will carve out time no matter how busy she is. A woman who's just using you will only reach out when it's convenient for her. And the second it's not, she's gone. A lot of guys get these two things completely mixed up, attention and attraction. Just because a woman is giving you attention doesn't mean she's attracted to you. You've got to understand this difference, because if you don't, you'll waste endless amounts of time, energy, and emotional bandwidth on women who have no romantic interest in you whatsoever. Attention is easy to give. Attention costs nothing. A woman can text you all day long, laugh at your jokes, even hang out with you from time to time, and still not feel a shred of romantic attraction toward you. Attraction, on the other hand, is when she feels that undeniable pull toward you. It's when she looks at you as a man she wants, not just a guy she can talk to when she's bored. Attention is surface level. It's temporary, and it usually comes from a place of self-interest. She wants to feel validated. She wants to know she's still got it. She wants to pass the time when she's bored at work, or she wants a distraction from the guy who's ignoring her. That's why she texts you. That's why she flirts with you on social media. It has nothing to do with you. It's about how she feels in that moment. Attraction is different. Attraction is emotional investment. It's when she's genuinely curious about you, when she prioritizes seeing you, when she rearranges her schedule because she doesn't want to miss a chance to be around you. That's the difference guys need to stop ignoring. Here's where men trip themselves up. They think attention is proof of interest. She laughs at your texts. She sends you selfies. She hits you with a good morning message every once in a while, and you think, man, she must really like me. But ask yourself this, does she actually go out of her way to spend time with you? Does she show up for dates? Does she initiate plans? Because if the answer is no, then all you've got is attention. And attention without attraction is empty. It feels good in the moment, but it doesn't lead anywhere. It's like eating junk food. You get a quick sugar rush, but there's no real substance behind it. Another key difference, attention is inconsistent. It comes and goes depending on her mood, her loneliness, or her circumstances. One week she's blowing up your phone, the next week she disappears. That's not attraction, that's convenience. Attraction is consistent. It doesn't vanish when she's busy. It doesn't fade when she's got other options. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she wants to keep that connection alive. She's not just texting when she's bored. She's reaching out because she can't stop thinking about you. She's not just hanging out when it's convenient to you. She's excited to be there. And here's the trap most guys fall into. They settle for attention because it feels like progress. They tell themselves, well, at least she's responding. That must mean something. No. It doesn't. It means you're available and she knows it. Women who are truly attracted will make it crystal clear. They'll ask about your day. They'll remember the little details. They'll flirt back. They'll lean into you when you escalate. If all she's giving you is shallow attention, you've got to be honest with yourself. She's not interested in you as a man. She's just interested in the validation she gets from your presence. The biggest danger here is that attention can blind you. It makes you feel wanted. It strokes your ego. And because of that, you start investing more and more into someone who's never going to give you what you actually want. You'll spend hours texting. You'll rearrange your life to be available for her. You'll convince yourself she's just taking her time. Meanwhile, she's giving her real attraction to someone else. The guy she actually prioritizes, the guy she makes an effort for, the guy she desires. And the more you ignore the difference between attention and attraction, the longer you stay stuck in that cycle of being her backup, her option, her emotional crutch. So here's the reality: attention feels nice, but attraction is what matters. Don't confuse the two. Don't let a few texts or casual hangouts trick you into thinking you're building something real. Pay attention to the effort, the consistency, the emotional investment. If she's not showing signs of true attraction, then all you've got is surface level attention. And that's never going to satisfy you as a man. If you don't respect yourself, nobody else will. That's just the truth. In relationships, this principle shows up more than anywhere else. When you're dealing with a woman who's not investing, who's stringing you along, who's just using you for attention and validation, you've got two choices. You either keep tolerating it, hoping one day she'll magically wake up and see your value, or you respect yourself enough to walk away. And I'll tell you straight, most guys choose the first option. They keep chasing, they keep begging for scraps, and in the process, they destroy their own self-worth. Respecting yourself means you don't settle for being someone's backup plan. You don't settle for being her emotional tampon, the guy she calls when she's lonely, or the filler between the men she actually desires. You set a standard for yourself, and you enforce it. That standard says, if you want to be in my life, you have to show up. You have to invest. You have to bring something to the table. It's not about being arrogant or demanding. It's about valuing yourself enough to not accept less than you deserve. Because the truth is, you teach people how to treat you. And if you keep letting her get away with crumbs, that's all she's ever going to give you. Most men don't set boundaries because they're afraid. They're afraid if they push back, if they pull away, if they say, no, they'll lose her. But here's the irony: by not respecting yourself, you lose her anyway. Women don't admire men who tolerate being walked all over. They don't desire guys who put them on a pedestal and ignore reality. They respect men who respect themselves. A woman might use you for attention if you allow it, but she'll never feel real attraction toward you. Attraction is tied to respect, and if she doesn't respect you, you've already lost. You've got to ask yourself, what kind of man do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy who gets strung along for months or years, all because you're scared to walk away? Or do you want to be the guy who values himself enough to say, look, if you're not interested, I'm not sticking around? When you respect yourself, you don't chase, you don't beg. You don't justify someone's bad behavior. You don't sit around waiting for someone to finally choose you. You choose yourself. And that self-respect instantly raises your value in the eyes of women because you're no longer just another needy guy desperate for validation. Here's what happens when you respect yourself: you filter people out. You stop wasting time with women who aren't really into you, and you free yourself up for the ones who are. You send a clear signal: I don't have time for games. I don't have time for half measures. Either you're in or you're out. And that kind of certainty is attractive. Women may test you. They may push boundaries, but when they realize you're not the kind of man who bends just to keep them around, they respect you. And respect creates the foundation for attraction. The problem is, too many guys think respect comes from the outside. They think, if she validates me, if she chooses me, if she treats me well, then I'll respect myself. But that's backwards. Respect starts with you. It starts with the way you talk to yourself, the standards you set, the behavior you tolerate. If you allow someone to mistreat you, you're showing that you don't value yourself. If you're constantly chasing a woman who gives you nothing back, you're showing that you believe her time is more valuable than yours. Respect yourself enough to walk away from that dynamic And you'll find that the world responds differently to you. At the end of the day, respect is non-negotiable. It's not something you ask for, it's something you command by the way you live your life. And when you start carrying yourself with that level of self-respect, you stop being a man who gets used for attention and validation. You become a man who attracts women who actually admire you, desire you, and invest in you. And that shift changes everything. The strongest move you can ever make with a woman who's just using you for attention and validation is to walk away with confidence. Most guys don't get this. They think walking away means giving up or that it makes them look weak. But the reality is the exact opposite. Walking away is the ultimate display of strength. It says, I value myself. I won't waste my time on someone who doesn't appreciate me. I'd rather be alone than be strung along. That's power, that's self-respect. And ironically, that's often the very moment a woman realizes she can't manipulate you the way she can manipulate every other guy. The reason walking away works is because it flips the script. When you stay in a one-sided dynamic, you're communicating that her time, her needs, and her validation matter more than your own. But when you walk away, you reclaim that power. You send the message, I'm not afraid to lose you because I know my worth. Women are naturally drawn to men who don't need them, who can take them or leave them, who are strong enough to walk away when they're not being treated right. It separates you from the pack of needy, validation-hungry guys she's used to dealing with. Walking away with confidence isn't about anger, bitterness, or revenge. It's not about making her pay or proving a point or trying to manipulate her into chasing you. It's about clarity. It's about recognizing when her actions don't line up with her words, when her effort doesn't match yours, and deciding you're not going to settle for less than you deserve. You do it calmly, you do it with certainty, and you do it without explaining yourself or begging her to change. That kind of detachment shows strength, and strength is attractive. But here's the catch. Walking away only works if you mean it. If you walk away hoping she'll chase, and then the second she sends you a text you come running back, you've just proven you weren't serious. Women can smell weakness. They can tell if you're bluffing. That's why you got to do it from a place of genuine self-respect. You're not walking away to get a reaction. You're walking away because you know your time and energy are valuable, and you refuse to keep wasting them on someone who isn't meeting you halfway. The beautiful thing about walking away is that it creates space for the right people to show up. When you stop pouring into women who don't appreciate you, you open yourself up to women who actually do. And that shift in energy changes everything. Suddenly, you're no longer desperate, no longer clinging, no longer chasing validation. You're grounded, confident, and selective. And women can feel that. They're drawn to a man who knows his worth, who doesn't stick around just because he's scared of being alone. Now, let's be real. Walking away isn't always easy. It takes discipline. It takes emotional strength. It's hard to cut off a woman who's been giving you attention, even if it wasn't genuine attraction, because that attention feels good. It scratches the itch. But if you keep settling for cheap attention, you'll never experience real intimacy, real respect, or real attraction. Walking away forces you to let go of the crumbs so you can finally hold out for the whole meal. And once you've done it a few times, once you've seen how much better life gets when you refuse to settle, you'll never look back. At the end of the day, walking away with confidence is the ultimate test of self-respect. It's the moment where you prove to yourself and to her that you'd rather be true to your standards than waste your time in a situation that's beneath you. And once you start living that way, once you embody that level of strength, you'll stop being the guy who gets used for attention and validation. And you'll become the man who women admire, desire, and chase